at Mississippi River. So much on the line here. Myself, Kyle Jesse, Davey Height, on the set here, Bassmaster halftime show presented by Bass Cat Boats. Davey, there are so many storylines going on right now, obviously, between Angler of the Year, Rookie of the Year decided yesterday. Our Tucker Smith crowned Rookie of the Year on stage yesterday, a great moment, and it's been a great event here, Davey.
It absolutely has. We always expect there to be lots of fish caught, largemouth and smallmouth bass, and that certainly is what happened. And honestly, the race for Rookie of the Year and for Angler of the Year, you really couldn't ask for a better setup there either. You know, it being so close in both of those races, and Paul Marks having a better start to the year, but Tucker Smith has been very steady and was able to get it done here this week. And that won't be the only trophy or the last trophy we see that young man hold up over his head on Bassmaster stage.
Yeah, his trophy case just got a whole lot bigger, and you better keep building it. I know his dad's a dentist, but maybe he needs to be a carpenter because, I mean, he's a three-time high school champion, collegiate champion, and him and Paul Marks, I mean, roommates, battling it out till the very end, and I know it seems tough the way it ended for Paul, but I mean, somebody's got to win, and, you know, he dealt with some issues, mechanical issues, but, I mean, that's part of the sport, Davey. I mean, in every sport, literally.
It absolutely is. It's unfortunate that it happens in the final event, and all eyes are on you, but that's part of what you deal with as a professional angler, no doubt.
Well, let's get caught up on the big stories that everybody's following here. And the biggest story today definitely is the story that started at the beginning of the season, and that is our Progressive Bassmaster Angler of the Year. And that young man right there, Chris Johnson, is trying to join a very, very rare group and become a back-to-back Angler of the Year. The only other anglers that have ever done it, Kevin Van Dam, Roland Martin, and Guido Hibden. And when you just say those names and put Chris's name beside him, it blows my mind.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, Chris Johnson and Corey Johnson have accomplished a lot in this sport. He was our Angler of the Year last year, but you could see, you could just stand. You didn't have to even have a conversation with Chris this week. You could stand from afar and just see the expression on his face. He felt the pressure here, but he's done great, and he's certainly in the driver's seat today.
Well, the guy's been in the driver's seat in this actual event. We have 3 trophies to hand out this week. Already did Rookie of the Year. We just talked about Angler of the Year, but trying to win this very event, and that is Caleb Kufal. 2 Bassmaster wins, both of them in Alabama, but he could do this one in his home state of Wisconsin.
Absolutely, doing it his way. I mean, we've talked about it all week long. Caleb Kufal, traditionally known as an extremely good jig fisherman, flipper. This morning, only 3 rods on the deck. Certainly the fewest amount that we've seen of any angler at the Mississippi River. Obviously a place that, you know, so many baits will play, but he is absolutely going to do it his way every time, Davey Height.
Yeah, and, you know, you love to see that because all of these anglers are so versatile, but Caleb Kufal is one of the few that has a flipping stick in his hand all the time, and he's very, very effective with it, obviously.
Well, Bryan Schmitt has won 3 Bassmaster events, but I know one pattern about him. If a fishery has grass, he will catch bass, and he catches them in a very big way. He's the defending champion in this very event.
He is. I didn't realize this until this week, talking with Bryan. This is his 3rd event here, and he's in a great position to win it also, but he won the last Elite here, and he also won another major event here. So he's 2 for 2 and got a great chance to be 3 for 3 here this week on the upper end of the Mississippi.
It has been one of the coolest tournaments. I mean, it always is. Lacrosse, I think it gets kind of understated because we go to all these heavy hitter kind of fisheries, you know, where we just left, where we flirted with a century belt, and I believe it's going to happen at some point, you know, when we get to Michigan in the future, you know, on Lake St. Clair. We were that close again, you know, the St. Lawrence River, all these big fork, all these fisheries. Lacrosse kind of gets understated, but every time we come here, I leave here feeling like, man, you said it yesterday, Kyle, watching the footage here makes you want to go bass fishing.
Yeah, no question about it. Obviously, we've hit on it. The weather today, beautiful. First day, it seems like all year that it's fall weather. And, you know, this is the kind of tournament you want to end the season at, where the weights are tight. 1 4-pounder can, you know, jump you so many places in the leaderboard, and it's going to come down to the wire here.
Let's get out live on the water with your tournament leader, Caleb Kufal.
Whoa.
Ooh.
See that stops right there. Settle down, buddy.
It's his fourth keeper of the day. We talk about how proficient he is with the jig, but let's be honest, I don't remember seeing him throw anything else. Like literally anytime he's on camera, that's all he does.
He caught one 2 years ago at Santee Cooper on a spinnerbait.
Come on.
Do you remember it?
I do.
I mean, it's one of those deals like
You wouldn't
I
forget
remember,
it.
Exactly. He does have another bait in his boat.
Adapting to
Adapt. That was weird. That shouldn't have changed, and that changed. But
you had a lot of confidence at the dock this morning that was going to be solid.
that for sure I thought would be solid with this weather. Well, it's okay. Plenty of time, 5 hours. We got options. We're gonna make it happen.
Bryan Schmitt giving you some of the thoughts going through his mind. And Davey, as you said, he's fished 2 tournaments here, and we're in a baseball field. He's batting 1,000.
Yeah, like the only person I've seen be more consistent up on this end of the Mississippi is Larry Nixon back in the day.
Love me some Larry Nixon. Love listening to him in the FS1 show going on this morning.
Yeah.
But want to welcome everybody into the Bassmaster halftime show presented by Bass Cat Boats. And we are in the home of the La Crosse Loggers. Yeah, you don't need to adjust your footage. We are in the middle of a baseball diamond and a great facility. This place is going to be packed today. We've had great crowds the first 2 days. With that many Wisconsin anglers in the top 10, I think it is going to be a freak show here today.
It's going to be, and you know, like you mentioned, a lot of fans of Pat Schlapper and Caleb and old Bob Downey brings his crew over here to La Crosse, Wisconsin every year also. So, yeah, a great crowd yesterday, even better today. And the weather is absolutely beautiful here.
A rowdy crowd at that. Dave Mercer making some friends yesterday during weigh-in.
Definitely. And I'll let you know that friend did say he's coming back.
Great.
And yesterday was just a warm-up, I was told. He will bring it for semifinal Saturday and even more so on Championship Sunday. Just a reason you need to come out. If you're anywhere in the local area, come on out here to the weigh-in this afternoon. It's going to be a lot of fun. We got to decide who our Angler of the Year is, decide who our tournament champion is. Still got Bassmaster Classic spots on the line. Everybody's got pressure on them this time around, Davey Height. Do you think you know who's going to win Angler of the Year? Are you certain that?
No, I'm definitely not certain. Definitely not certain.
Well, we'll find out, and don't leave us because we're following the tournament. We are following Angler of the Year race, all of it coming down the last semifinal Saturday of 2025. You see your leaderboard right there. Caleb Kufal took the lead on day 1 and has not looked back. JT Tompkins trying to chase him down, and Jordan Lee, always kind of sneakily quiet, but if there's a frog in play, he's always a player. The Pro Guide Bassmaster Elite at the Mississippi River.
What a time to be live. Humminbird's new Mega Live 2 forward-facing sonar is your front row seat to every epic catch, unfolding as it happens with more clarity than ever before. Decipher between dinks and diamonds in the brush. Choose between 15 color palettes and 3 views. Zero in with enhanced bait tracking and marvel at all the jaw-dropping detail. New Mega Live 2. Next-gen clarity, next-level fun. Only with Humminbird.
If you're looking for the best jigs, buzz baits, spinner baits, Epic is the choice for you. Years of experience from every Epic pro angler goes into every bait. Epic Baits, veteran owned, so check us out, America.
Terminal tackle to swing jigs and buzz baits. Epic has you covered.
The best weights that I've used. It'll never fray your line, no matter if you're using fluorocarbon, braid, whatever. You don't have to worry about it.
Keep an eye out for all the new products coming to epicbaitsfishing.com.
So we're not all professional anglers. We don't all compete on the biggest stage. But inside us all burns the same fire to be a champion. It's why you get out early, brave the toughest conditions, point the bow toward adventure and put the hammer down. For whatever trophy or fish or memory you're chasing, count on a Mercury Pro XS outboard. engineered to deliver the speed and reliability you need to power the champion inside you.
Since 1975, P.H. Marine has been the leader in boat parts and accessories, powering every journey on the water. From trim handles to jack plates, we've built a legacy that keeps you running strong. P.H. Marine, built for life on the water.
This is the brand new B.A.S.S. It's a little bit shallower than the original. It has more of that traditional bass boat look that I love. The layout of this boat's set up really, really nice. Really easy to fish out of, really easy to rig out of. Storage is insane. And this thing's a beast in big water, but also drafts super shallow. So, you know, just a really high performance machine. I can take this boat all across the country, whether I'm river beating or on the Great Lakes, and it handles everything flawlessly.
Good morning, commuters. Looks like we got traffic backed up for miles. Starting with a downed tree blocking East Avenue and a broken water main causing a bottleneck on the westbound lanes. We've got weekend travelers flooding the turnpike, meaning it's bumper-to-bumper traffic for the foreseeable future. I'd get comfortable. You might be there for a while.
Toyota Trucks. Let's go places.
25 years as a touring professional, I have depended on Gamakatsu my entire career to produce the sharpest and the strongest hooks. Known as a power fisherman, but yet if you're going to survive as a tour level pro, finesse is becoming more and more popular, regardless if we go north or we go south. So when you're choosing a hook, choose Gamakatsu. They have one for every technique and every body of water that you fish on.
The newest addition to the Basscat STS family is here. Introducing the Caracal STS, showcasing aggressive styling, paired with enhanced performance and a continued dedication to raising the bar. Measuring in at 20 feet 2 inches with an ultra-wide 96-inch beam and rated for a 250 to 300 horsepower engine, the Caracal STS boasts agility and speed and is finished with premium features to satisfy any angler. Basscat Boats. Feel the rush.
It is the final semifinal Saturday of the 2025 Bassmaster Elite Series. The Pro Guide Bassmaster Elite on the Mississippi River. Lacrosse is showing out as it always does. I want to welcome everybody into the Bassmaster Halftime Show presented by Basscat Boats, and so much on the line. We already decided our Dakota Lithium Rookie of the Year, but we got to decide our Progressive Bassmaster Angler of the Year. And Chris Johnson trying to join a very rare group and become a back-to-back Angler of the Year. Trey McKinney, a bunch of points back, but only 2 pounds 9 ounces back of Chris Johnson. Chris has got to open the door, and if he does, Trey will take a shot at getting in there. But, man, to join that group, I said in the last segment, Kevin Van Dam, Roland Martin, and Guido Hipton, just to be associated with those names, it's astonishing.
Yeah, it is. And, you know, Chris obviously won last year. He's in that position to do it back-to-back. But you can see that it means a lot to Chris. He can tell that he'll be on a very short list of some of the greatest, if not the top 5 or so greatest anglers of all time.
Wow, to win a multiple. I mean, only a very special individual will win multiple. Davey, how you did that?
Well, certainly not back-to-back, but I was lucky enough to catch a few fish here and there. But it's really a special award to the anglers personally. I mean, as a fan of the sport, everybody can see it. But as an angler, to win that is certainly very special.
Well, if Trey McKinney live, we're watching him, and if he were to do the unthinkable, hooked up live.
You got it. Had to push to get him, but I was hoping he'd be a lot bigger. It's a keeper, though. Hey. I'm just trying to put you in the box. I gotta make sure he feels so small.
if he were able to pull it off here in a comeback, basically on the final day, he would join history himself, become the youngest angler of the year ever.
So great job yesterday at weigh-in, as always, Dave Mercer. It was a long weigh-in, but I had to stay to the very last minute to see if he held on to 50th place to have a chance to come back. And it's, you know, he's got a tall hill to climb, but he still has a chance at 50th place. I mean, wow, what are the odds?
And a tie. He had a tie with Greg DePalma, but won the tie because the tiebreaker was biggest bag of the tournament. So he won that, slid in there in 50th, and you're saying there's a chance.
As weigh-in was winding down, it just felt like he was going to miss it, and that was going to be the end of it. And obviously to make it into the semifinal Saturday field, a huge move for Trey McKinney. But it feels like the way this race has went, there's got to be an exclamation point moment. Like somebody's going to catch a big one. Trey McKinney, obviously, to jump back up there and give himself a chance, or Chris Johnston to go on one of those flurries like we saw yesterday.
Speaking of flurries yesterday, and why I think there is a chance, I talked to Lee Livesay quite a bit after he weighed in. Had nothing at 10 o'clock yesterday. Catches over 21 pounds and comes in 45 minutes early. So it can happen in a hurry here, like it did for Lee yesterday. 2 over 5 pounds. Very unusual here.
Congratulations to Lee Livesay, not only weighing in our Crush City Monster bag of the tournament, but with that, officially joins the Bassmaster Millionaires Club.
Oh, wow. That gave him even more reason to be excited.
He was a rattled mess. I didn't even get to introduce him. He literally charged up on stage, and I'm about to introduce him, and I turn, and he's right there. And then I said, dude, just jokingly, I said, dude, you're supposed to wait for me to intro you. He just hugged me. Yeah. And my intro of him ended up literally being him hugging me and the mic shoved up against my cheek saying, Lee Livesay.
It was funny hearing you tell that story because right before he went on stage, I went up to him, just going to give him a fist bump, tell him good job. And as he turned around, he just turned around and gave me a big hug and said, dude, I needed that.
He said that day one here was the worst day of his fishing career. I said worse than Lake
Oh, boy.
Fork? And he said, yes. Here we go.
God, they're little, aren't they? I mean...
Pat's spending most of his tournament in Pool 7, just north of here. One of the few anglers that said, I plan on locking every day.
He's a burner. 5 for 8 pounds. I don't know, man. This ain't good.
What he's done the second half of this season has been remarkable. I mean, he turned it around at Lake Fork. I kind of coined it the old slump buster because he had that weird fish that he had, he had
quite a bit bigger than the
he had a small fish on a crankbait. 8.5 pounder comes in, it eats the crankbait at the same time. He's got both of them on 100% of the time or 99% of the time. The big one gets off.
Yes.
The small one stays on.
Yes.
The exact opposite happened. He landed that 8.5 pounder and since then has turned his season around. He literally at that point thought the only way he's making the Classic is winning this event. Not anymore. Obviously went on to win Sabine and has had a great second half.
31st in points coming into this day. So certainly charged way back up the leaderboard in AOY points.
Yeah, I think when you're talking about midway of the season, he was in the 80s, like low 80s in the AOY points.
Okay, let's get a little slice of KJ Queen.
As we were going from live cast to the halftime show, he was on a flurry where he was catching one just about every cast. It was incredible to watch. Throwing a vibrating jig, said that wind obviously going to help that, and said he might lock it in his hands all day long.
Yeah, a lot more wind today than we've had all week.
KJ went through a weird little thing here the last couple of years. Like if you look at his first 2 years on the Elites, came in, made an impact quick, back-to-back Classic qualifications. And then kind of the last couple of years, got a little rocky for him, but it definitely feels like this season he has put the wheels back on the bus, and he's back to the KJ Queen we're used to seeing.
To your point, quietly having a great season in AOY. I mean, 10th currently coming into semifinal Saturday. I mean, not getting as much credit as he deserves.
I didn't even realize he was doing quite so well. I knew he was having a better year, but one of you guys mentioned it, I guess at St. Clair, how he's been very, very consistent this year. Top 10 AOI kind of year.
KG Queen, a 2-time Bassmaster Classic qualifier, and lives in the Queen machine. I mean, old school. I mean, I remember reading Bassmaster magazine, and you would see those choo-choo customs, the vans that I once dreamed of living in. Well, KJ Queen is living that dream. I don't know if it's quite a choo-choo custom, but
looks more like, what's a Scooby-Doo van?
Mystery machine.
That's kind of what it reminds me of a little more.
He's definitely got some Scooby snacks in there. J.C. Currett seemed like he was going to win Angler of the Year all season long for a very long part of the season. But, man, he can finish this season with his second Elite Series win, and the crowd here in Wisconsin would love to see that.
You know, he has been in the mix for Angler of the Year all year long, stumbled a little bit there at 10 Killer and then St. Clair, but still, obviously, certainly in the mix here this week. But it's good to see just the smile, I'm not worried about anything kind of look that Jay Secure has always had up until the pressure of Angler of the Year, you could tell, was on his shoulders the second half of this season.
He's another guy who spends a lot of time in the Elite smiling. Cooper Gallant unofficially became a 4-time Bassmaster Classic qualifier yesterday, and he's made the last 4, and I don't see him slowing down anytime soon.
We got to get some big ones. We got a good start, though. It's only 10:30. I mean, it's getting late, obviously, but we got lots of time. All we need is 4 more good ones. I feel good. This is where I caught my 5.5 yesterday. I figured I'd come visit again. I'm glad I did. I don't think we're going to stay here much longer, though. We're going to go look for some new water. It's not a very big area. There's like one stretch that looks good. Just frogging
So
mats.
he's going to keep moving, and he's fishing free. He told me this morning, man, it feels good. Like, he came in here with the pressure of the Classic, and that pressure, you know, Davey, it never leaves. It never leaves. But this is one of the very rare days where he knows he's done his job, and he can fish free.
Yeah, the anglers this morning had a very different look on their faces, the vibe at takeoff. There was so much pressure on everyone Thursday and Friday, and today a lot of the anglers, you could tell a lot of weight had been lifted off their shoulders trying to qualify for the Classic or Angler of the Year, Rookie of the Year, all that stuff at stake.
A lot on the line here this week, and set's gonna grow a little bit. We're gonna be joined by 2 incredible anglers. Going to be joined by Bernie Schultz and Mark Menendez. Going to join us on the set and continue to break down the action right here from La Crosse, Wisconsin. Mississippi River pools 7, 8, and 9. The final semifinal Saturday of 2025.
There's a big one in the reeds ahead. I know it. He doesn't care who I am, what titles I have, how many blue trophies I got, that I've fished since I could walk, or that I've spent countless hours on the water for this moment. It's me versus the fish, and I like to win.
Bass fishing fans, the ultimate destination for Bassmaster merchandise is here and better than ever with an all-new Bassmaster online store. From exclusive apparel to high-quality gear and accessories, we've got everything you need with prices to fit every budget. It's our new, more customer-friendly site with fast shipping and unbeatable quality. All kinds of items to give as gifts to the bass fishing fan in your life or stock up on options for yourself. The goods you need to elevate your bass fishing game and rep your Bassmaster pride. See Bassmaster.shop to check out the latest deals and hottest trends at the all-new Bassmaster online store.
We're known for really small baits, for highly pressured fish, and we're going even smaller now with the new micro series. So when I say micro series, you're probably wondering, how small are these baits? These baits are typically around 40% smaller than what you've come to expect from us. So the next time you're faced with super tough conditions, the micro series is going to be the solution to help you keep the bite going and catch that fish that you've always dreamed of.
Summer is fading fast, but the savings are blazing hot. It's the final days of the Skeeter Blazing Hot Summer Savings Sales Event. Until September 5th, you can save big with up to $5,000 in rebates on select models. Get the Skeeter boat you've been dreaming about across our popular Bass, saltwater, and deep V lines. Don't miss out. Visit your authorized Skeeter dealer today or go to skeeterboats.com for more details. Hurry, this event ends September 5th. Don't let this opportunity drift away. Terms and conditions may apply.
And last, see it 8 or 9. Oh, it could be 10. Oh, what a bite. Oh, buddy.
It's a 10 pack.
That's a giant. That's like an 11, actually.
What a nice fish.
I fish in some of the worst elements across the country. Spring, that's a giant, dude. Summer, oh my gosh. Hi, look at that thing. Winter, it's so cold. And fall. Got a big one, that's awesome.
Being comfortable and staying dry is the only option.
AFCO, any fish, any water.
Discover the hidden gems and pristine waters of Tennessee's Bill-Dance signature lakes. Conveniently located throughout Tennessee, there's a signature lake near you, covering all regions of the volunteer state, all endorsed by the legendary Bill Dance himself. Whether it's a weekend getaway or an extended vacation, create timeless memories at Tennessee's Bill Dance signature lakes. Plan your trip today.
Welcome into the Bassmaster Halftime Show presented by Bass Cat Boats. All the action coming to you from La Crosse, Wisconsin, Mississippi River. It is the scene of our final stop of the 2025 Bassmaster Elite Series. 9 events in the books here, and we got lots still to be decided. But atop the leaderboard, Caleb Kufal. Kyoya Fujita, look out, moving up that leaderboard. He's got a mountain to climb, but he is doing what he does. And he told me on day one of this tournament, he says, I want to make another championship Sunday. And by the looks of things, the Prince may be part of our party tomorrow. JT Tompkins trying to chase down his first Elite Series victory. And Jordan Lee, he's accomplished a lot, but never won a 4-day Bassmaster event. I always tell him he just doesn't have the stamina to go all 4 days. Only wins those, you know, those classic events. But speaking of classic things, we are joined by an incredible panel. Always, as always, Davey Height, Bernie Schultz, and Mark Menendez. 3 incredibly accomplished anglers, and me. I just moved the hold that makes the words, guys. So great to have you here.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
This tournament, I mean, we've talked a lot about pressure. I mean, everybody had pressure on them of different levels, whether you were trying to win Angler of the Year, requalify, whatever. I mean, talk to me about pressure as an angler, because I think it's one of the things that goes way understated. You guys don't have a coach to stop you and say, stop what you're doing, slow down, do, you know, like we see in other sports. You see how much that can affect it. It's a coachless sport, and it's tough.
It is.
The years.
It is tough, Dave. It's so you don't have a coach, but what you tend to do is pair yourself with roommates that you can feed off of or help. I'll come in and have had a bad day, and I'll say, Bernie will say, Mark, calm down, it's okay, or vice versa. And so you get a little bit of coaching, even though we're competitors, we're close friends, been longtime friends. That's how you deal with that.
We might seek out a third party because we're not doing very good for each other.
An independent party? Yes.
Yeah, we need to find some help. Yeah, the pressure mounts as the season progresses. You know, there's a lot on the line. Guys want to requalify. They want to make classics, sponsor pressures, you know, family. There's a lot of things that work on you during the competition, especially. Some guys manage that pressure better than others. It's just part of the game.
And it's situational. You know what I mean? You see people managing it perfectly at times. And, I mean, it's a long career, and it's up and down. But, hey, it all comes down to the fish. And let's get out in the water right now with Pat Schlapper, who he single-handedly blames his turnaround in the season for that, his way of thinking. He said that one fish at Fork changed the way I was thinking, a fresh outlook on things. And he went from the 90s in Angler of the Year to, Davey, you said 31st coming into this event?
Yes.
Incredible.
So, speaking of pressure, he's having a great year. Things are working for him in the second half of this season. Talk a little bit about when you're on your home water or in your home state, a lot of friends and family around, how that adds pressure to you as a tournament angler.
That will work.
That's the biggest fish yet.
Yeah, that's a nice one.
Got one of the right ones.
There's some of that pressure.
That's almost a 4. I bet that's close to 4. All right, we're gonna. Yeah, he's over 4. Yeah, he's like a 4-pounder. All right, so we're gonna do number 1. Got one of them in the boat.
That's a 4-pounder. Smallest fish right now, 1/8. So a big upgrade.
I think I just heard some of that pressure get released right there. That'll make you feel a lot different.
Well, to Davey's question about home field, sometimes advantage, sometimes a disadvantage. I mean, there's a lot of pressure to perform on your own water, and sometimes you're too familiar with your own water. I like fishing at home. I tend to do better when I'm at home. Some guys have struggled fishing at home, as the history of our sport shows. But I don't know, Mark, you might have a different take.
You know, Brian's got one on. You know, the Kentucky Lake thing, it was such a great fishery, and when we were having so many tournaments there, it kind of negated some of my home field advantage. But it still gave me the confidence of knowing this place produces bigger fish, this place produces more fish, so it made that part of it easier, but you do want to perform for your home folks.
When you consider the size of Kentucky Lake, it's hard to have a home field advantage. I mean, that thing's half the state, it's huge.
It's a big old lake, and we're catching a lot of bass there again.
Well, this guy doesn't have the home field advantage on the upper Mississippi, but it sure seems like he's got some kind of advantage. Our defending champion here of the Bassmaster Elite Series at La Crosse. And he told me he's fished one other event here and won it also. So he's got a good average of percentage of winning, I guess you could say, at 100% so far. And he's certainly in the mix here this week.
Fantastic river fisherman, understands current, understands change of water with all that tide experience he has. And we kind of had a tide here, Davey, with that big rain we had the other day. So very similar situations for him.
Here's your biggest mover of the tournament. Crush City Monster Bag of the tournament yesterday. And a brand new Bassmaster Millionaire.
That was outstanding. Huge stringer.
Is that the biggest sack we've seen here in our tournaments?
Yes.
I thought it was.
I did a little research on that, and the first 21-pound plus limit we've seen weighed in here on the out of La Crosse on the upper Mississippi. Here we go.
I thought that was going to be a big and.
That's like, to put that in perspective, that's like catching 5 8-pounders in Florida.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, to have the day like he had, that's awesome.
And obviously I wanted to know, what did you do? Because he said he had nothing at 10 o'clock yesterday.
Right.
He had already packed his bags, his truck, he had checked out of his house. He was ready to go back to Texas. And he said at 10 o'clock when he had nothing, he was like, the worst day of tournament fishing ever. He had just dropped out of the Classic by a lot the day before. And he said, the heck with fishing everything I've known or anything that looks good. I'm going to go fish banks that don't look good. That was his quote from him, the key to him catching the 21 pounds yesterday. I never fished anything else the rest of the day that looked good. So go try to go out on the Mississippi and fish something that, I mean, that looks good to me.
It all looks good.
That's the most difficult thing to do on this river,
Yeah.
is to find something that doesn't look good.
Yeah, that's like Florida. Everything looks fishy, but there are in certain areas you got to figure out how to dissect the water.
I think Lee's a prime example of just how tough it is here. Like, I mean, I think sometimes from the outside, it gets real easy for people to not realize how tough it is. I mean, Lee Livesay, as good a season as he's had, contended for Angler of the Year earlier this season, knocked himself out of the Classic. Like, to make the Classic, you look at those 42 and you're like, well, I mean, there's 101 guys. It's easy to go on the internet and be like, I could do that. It is extremely hard.
Yeah, one bad day, I think he fell 12 places out.
Wow.
Because of day one at La Crosse. But then has a phenomenal day. Day two, and he's in, no problems. He's got it in the bag.
No room for error on this tour.
No, it definitely isn't. But that's also why you guys come here, to compete against the best. I mean, you can stay at home and do that, but I mean, this is truly a test of the best, and it's been an incredible season. Who do you think is going to win Angler of the Year?
Chris is in a great spot. If he stays steady, the advantage goes to him. Two other dynamic young men fishing there with Jay, and Jay's so steady Eddie. It could happen if Chris doesn't have a steady day. So I'm betting on Chris.
Bernie?
My money's on Chris. He's a closer. He's proven that in the past, and it seems like when things start stacking against him, that's when he really shines. I expect him to fully run away with it.
I mean, look at this stuff. I mean, it's just beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I mean, I caught fish right there. I know there's fish in this area. Water's come up. I don't know why they wouldn't. I mean, the main thing is sandy bottom. You got a real sandy bottom. Now, like everybody else would throw from the front to hit these grass mats, I'm gonna try to hit them from the back. Plus, there's gonna be a little place on this back side that they're thinner because they can't pile up with the wind as good. And that's what I like to fish a lot. Because if it's piled up, they'll miss your frog real bad or not even blow up, can't even see it. See this stuff, I'm still making a trail in the back here. I mean, I don't know about y'all, but this should be like, had 2 bites on a frog. Caught one, it was a keeper, and missed the other one. It was probably 3-pounder. But, I mean, it blew up a foot behind it. I mean, there's nothing I could do. If I had a guess where one would be sitting, it would be right there. Come on, baby. Treat me right.
You only get one of those. This fishing thing is stressful. It's never easy. Went to my starting hole where I caught quite a few yesterday. I was worried there wasn't many left, got one good one. And then I went to some flipping, punching fish in front of Stoddard there. And really didn't get what I wanted, only caught 2 keepers out of it. And tough. I think I lost 1 keeper there. Slow going. I think if I stayed there all day, I could probably get 2 or 3 more, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. So I'm just running into these Goose Islands a bit. I'm going to fish a few spots in here. I didn't get many in here in practice, but
The ones on the Frog seem to be pretty decent. I just worry about how many boats have been up here. But we still got time. It's 11 o'clock, almost 11. We just need 2 good bites, 2 3.5s. Just gonna throw this frog around probably for the next hour.
How many times have we said that? Just need 2 more 3.5 pounders and everything will be good.
Yeah, one more.
Chris Johnson trying to join an elusive group. Kevin Van Dam, Roland Martin, and Guido Hibden, the only anglers to go back-to-back and win Angler of the Year. You both kind of said the ball's in his court. What makes Chris Johnson as good an angler as he is?
You know, you never see him running around with his hair on fire. He's always very patient. He's always very thorough, very methodical about everything he does. And to see him lose a fish early this morning kind of shocked me. He's just on point 99.9% of the time.
I think both Johnsons just have good instincts, just natural ability. But I'll tell you what really is the key: time on the water. They spend unbelievable amounts of time on the water. When they're home, they're with their families on the water. Dad was a tournament fisherman.
Yeah.
He kept them on the water. So, you know, time on the water, you can't, if you've got skill sets like they do and you add that component to it, you can't fail.
They spend an incredible amount of the water and time in the water, and it may just pay off. Already the first Canadian ever to win Angler of the Year and trying to join an incredible, incredible group. You guys are incredible guests, incredible friends, incredible anglers, and it's always a good time hanging out with you here.
Always, Dave. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Lots more action still to come here in La Crosse, Wisconsin. Hey, you don't get to scratch and sniff what's going on here, but I felt like we were about to have our entire set blowing away there. The wind is picking up, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody trying to chase the Bassmaster Classic berths, 42 of them on the line. Your Angler of the Year. All of it goes down here in the next few hours, and of course tomorrow's day of competition.
Best of the best just got better. Clearer images, sharper resolution, improved target separation. That's right, better. LiveScope Plus, only from Garmin.
Lights. Sonar. Action. Tired of waiting? See more action with world-class fish finders and sonar from Lowrance.
"50 anglers remain, battling it out for 10 spots. 10 spots to make it into our final championship Sunday of the 2025 Bassmaster Elite Series. Want to welcome you all into the Bassmaster Halftime Show, presented by Bass Cat Boats in La Crosse, Wisconsin. Has been where we've been hanging out for the last few days, and will be for one more day. But atop that leaderboard, the one thing that has not changed is Caleb Kufall. He has led this tournament since day number one. Pat Schlapper now moved into second place, another Wisconsin angler. Kyoya Fujita, you know the Prince isn't going to end this season quietly. Jordan Lee, Bryan Schmitt, our defending champion. JT Tompkins, a two-time Classic qualifier and an Open winner, but chasing his first Elite Series win. Tucker Smith just won Rookie of the Year. I mean, a very accomplished top 10. So much on the line here, guys. Not just the top 10, but you got guys which maybe are even under more pressure that are trying to make the Bassmaster Classic, and a lot of them are on the water competing, and every single ounce matters.
No question. I mean, Davey, that is the goal for every Bassmaster Elite Series angler when the year starts, making the Bassmaster Classic. How much pressure is it knowing that you're on that line and it is maybe your final day of the year?
Well, there's a lot of pressure for all of them, and that little cut line that you're talking about, and we'll speak more about that in a minute, but even more so, this is a win and you're in. There's some guys that is their only chance, not just to stay in the Classic, but they have to win this event to make the Bassmaster Classic.
Absolutely. One of the storylines we're talking about here, you know, below that Classic cut line. Right now we're at 42, Andrew Loberg in 41st, and Dakota Ebear in 42nd. But the thing about Andrew Loberg is coming into the day in 9th place, has a lot of, you know, not much room to gain, but a lot of, you know, room to fall.
Yeah, you always have to look at that and realize, you know, the ceiling and the floor, so to speak, and we hope he stays there, but you know, the odds are against him a little more than in his favor.
And then obviously below him, Dakota Ebear, Brandon Polinick in 35th or 42nd and 43rd. The reality of it is, though, 522 and 519 points-wise coming into this tournament. They're in, you know, coming into the day 35th, 44th, a lot of room for them to gain. So, I mean, they're in a good spot, of course, today.
Really cool looking. You mentioned Dakota Ebear. He had a terrible start to his Elite Series career and handled it very well about mid-season. Spent a little time with him behind the weighing stage. He was having another bad event. He said, I'm going to be a better angler because I've struggled more in the start of my Elite Series career than I've ever struggled in tournament fishing in my life. And he had such a positive outlook. I'm going to do better. This is going to make me a better person and a better angler. And, man, he has really, really turned things around in the second half of the season.
Stetson Blaylock hooked up live. Oh, missed it. Don't put the cart before the horse.
Did a good job there not setting the hook when the fish didn't have that frog. It's hard to resist. It's
That
good
thing
blow
would
up.
have been in my forehead.
Yeah.
Stay on that fish. Well,
there you go.
That's why we're missing them. But that might be, maybe number 5. Nope. That's why I came in here, though. Look how fat that fish is, how healthy they are. I mean, you get a, you know, 16, 17 incher like that, it'll take you the distance. That's why we're missing them. Them couple I've had, they all look just like that. Small ones. I know there's a good one in here.
The wild thing about Stetson is it reminds you that pressure is a privilege. Because Stetson said that to me this morning. He said, yeah, I wish I was on the bubble of the Classic. You know, he's had a rare, tough season. I mean, he's very consistent, but a rare, tough season. And you got these guys who are out there sweating the pressure, and you got Stetson who's in the mix, but he's like, man, I wish I had that pressure on me.
Yeah, it's a different kind of pressure, no doubt. But he's one of those that I'm sure now that he's having such a good event, the reason we got a camera with him in our top 10 on third day, thinking my only chance is to win this event.
Now over to a guy with a whole different kind of pressure, and that is to try and win his second Angler of the Year title, Chris Johnston.
He's moved in closer to the Goose Island area than he's been earlier in the week. The wind direction and the amount of wind we are having today probably has made him move around a little bit.
It should go. It's over 15. We'll call that 4, right? So we have 5 in there.
Wind a big player here. Different than other places. We talk about wind on the Great Lakes and how treacherous it can be, but because of the setup with this, that wind shoots right down this river, and it can really wreak havoc on this tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. The terrain that we have, the hills and all that, you're right, it always seems to funnel up or down the river with or against the current, and it affects the waves. The other thing here, so much shallow vegetation, and the wind will really affect that, you know, eelgrass and this duckweed, this shallow vegetation 3 feet and less, the wind will lay it over, sometimes move an entire mat of duckweed over from one area to another.
Watching the two anglers that came into this event with a two-way tie for Angler of the Year, and both of them just set the hook within minutes, but trading little jabs right now. We need a big haymaker from one of them.
Yeah, you get a real good look at what Trey's doing here. You see that current seam there? There's grass here, and you can see the way that current's working around that vegetation. He's in a great-looking spot right now.
Yeah, hey, I just hadn't caught a good one in a little while.
Solid, dude.
Very. Yellow.
Solid.
3 pounder.
Hey. Yo.
Bam! Yeah, we got a fist bump 3 pounders. Yeah. And there's like 5 more, so why stop there?
Really like the way it looks right where he's at. The way the current's flowing, and you can tell that there's grass there, probably eel grass underwater, and the way that current is swinging around on it right now, which could be totally different than it's been all week because of the wind direction we have, and the way the current of the river and the river's feeding in, like the Root River down on the lower end here, just has slowed down tremendously in the last few days.
It's amazing, this fishery, how quick it can happen. You talked about what happened with Livesay, but that is 101 here. I mean, if you catch one, you're probably going to catch multiple fish, and things can change for any of these anglers in a hurry.
Yeah, there's obviously a great population of largemouth and smallmouth bass here on the upper end of Mississippi River, but they're not everywhere. You know, and everywhere looks good. We've heard anglers say that. I mean, that's the first thing you notice when you go out on one of these pools up on the upper end. Everything looks good, but there's not enough fish to be everywhere. So they move around in groups, and the current, the wind, the water quality, more than anything, in my opinion, really dictates where these fish move from day to day.
Timing here. Afternoon, we've seen afternoon be a big player. Is that just sunlight? Is that...
I just think you've got to be in the right place at the right time. I've just always thought that there's always some fish biting all the time, day or night. I've never fished a tournament where no one caught them. I fish tournaments a lot of times where Davey might not have caught them, but they're always biting. If you don't believe it, go to weigh in, and you will see some fish hit the scales.
That is the tournament angler's mindset. You're always saying, maybe nobody caught him today.
I thought that, but that didn't work out real well.
It always turns out someone catches him, and the same guy's been catching him since day number 1, Caleb Kufal. 47 pounds, 4 ounces. Another Wisconsin angler, Pat Schlapper, trying to double down in 2025. You look at that leaderboard, Lee Livesay, what a difference a day makes. He's inside the top 10 right now. It's all going to get decided in the next few hours. Don't go anywhere. Pro Guide Bassmaster Elite.
The Yamaha V-Max SHO. Pure Yamaha DNA designed for reliability and performance. Yamaha's brawny 4.2-liter big block cranks out massive power. Quick out of the hole with sizzling top speed. Unleash the power with 70 amps of charging ability for today's power-hungry electronics. Yamaha V-Max SHO. The game changer still dominates.
Serious anglers know that. At Beat Down Outdoors, we know you depend on your gear to hold up in any condition. Rain, snow, sun, or sleet. We built for that. We test for that. In fact, we pride ourselves in that. Because we know when the time comes to test your gear, you aren't going to take it easy. So we won't. We build premium, made in the USA products that you can rely on in the moments when your equipment should be the last thing on your mind. I guess you could say that's our thing.
It's the moment when everything is on the line and precision, power, and control make all the difference. A moment over 20 years in the making, anchored on loyalty, trust, and support that goes beyond all expectations. A relentless pursuit of perfection. All born from a revolutionary idea to help you rule the water. Power Pole.
Professional angler Jason Christie knows the performance and feel of a reel in his hands is very important. And that's why he designed the new Spro JC Elite and JC Elite